I ran into an old friend at CVS, and I was shaking, and I had my head down, and I was all depressed, getting my meds. And this kid comes up, and he goes, "Hey, JC, what are you all depressed about?" I said, "Bro, I got Parkinson's." He says, "And you're depressed about that?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I got 6 weeks to live. I got stage 4 cancer. How do you feel about that? I would switch with you in a second to see my kids for the next 20 years, 30 years."
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
He calls back again, and he's like, "I want you in this movie." I'm like, "Bro, I shake, I limp, I this, that." He's like, "We know that already. We're fully aware of it. We accept you for who you are. We love you. Benicio wants you here. I want you here. So come on down." I still refused, and I know you think this is unbelievable, but
should have gave him Stewie's number.
I was like,
yeah, I got you.
Yeah, why not?
Tell him the story real quick. I know you got questions. Tell him Benicio del Toro at the table when he walked away.
So,
listen to this one.
He goes, "Are you gonna freeze up on me?" And I said, "Bro, I don't freeze. My body might, but my mind doesn't freeze." He says, "As long as you won't freeze, I got you."
Tell him at the table when you left. You took your lines away. You took your lines.
So the first scene that I'm in is, this is Benicio del Toro. I'm sitting right next to him, right? Now, I'm like shook. This is a guy that I've been watching for 20, 30 years. Did
you ask him to put a finger up his ass?
Award winner and everything. So he's like, "Hey, Capone, sit next to me." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, man." I was hoping to sit next to somebody like Lil.
Alicia Silverstone or someone.
So he goes, he looks at me and he says, "You all right, kid?" He says, "Welcome to Park Avenue. Don't fuck up." As soon as he says that, he blows my mind. I forget all the lines, right? So I take the sheet of paper, the script, and I'm shaking it. I was like, fuck it, I'll just wing it. So Dominic says something, and I'm supposed to knock over a bottle. So Dominic says something to Benicio. Benicio's looking at me. I don't knock over the bottle. He goes, He looks at me, he says, "You're supposed to knock over the bottle." I'm like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, you blew my mind. I'm sitting next to you. I'm watching Sicario in traffic. You know, I'm a little shook." So he goes, "Do you mind if I tap you on the knee when it's time to knock over the bottle?" I'm like, "No, that's a great idea, boss." So the bottle comes, he says the line, boom, he taps me, I knock over the bottle. Great job. Everybody comes out clapping like, "Yay!" Woo. So I'm like, all right, this is easy enough. Second time comes around, he doesn't tap me on my knee. So I don't knock over the bottle. He goes, "Hold it, wait a second." He says, "Are you fucking with me?" I said, "No, why?" He says, "You didn't knock over the bottle." I said, "You didn't tap me on the knee." He says, "Hold it." After this guy says this word, wait 2 beats and knock over the bottle. You understand me, kid? I said, "Yes, sir." And that was our relationship with Benicio. And I'll tell you, there was a couple of points throughout the movie that I was doubting that I should even be there.
When you walked off the set, Benicio called you.
And Benicio called me because I wasn't an actor. I didn't know. Like everybody said I was an actor growing up. My mother said she thought she would see me on TV, but America's Most Wanted, not Reptile. And so...
So the movie is Reptile.
Yes, sir.
The movie is Reptile.
Directed by Grant Singer. Great people.
It's got a lot of big names in it.
It's got me.
Yeah, that's and co-starring Benicio del Toro and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's big time. Dominic
Murder movie, mystery, good movie.
Good movie, and I have like multiple scenes and dialogue with the man himself, all of them. But fuck what the haters say, because there's a lot of people out there that when you tell them good news, they're like, "Oh, you can't do this. You shake. You're nervous. You're anxiety." And
well, I'm going to tell you why. Because if you succeed in what you're doing, what does that say about those people? You have Parkinson's disease.
They're a bunch of lazy.
They're looking at themselves in the mirror and say, "Here's a guy with a debilitating disease who is going out and making a success, making lemonade out of lemons."
We make limoncello out of lemons.
Limoncello.
There you go.
And here I am, perfectly capable, I don't have any neurological disorders, and I can do what you're doing.
Well, none that you admit to.
Oh, I have plenty. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about metaphorically me, but I got plenty of disorders that we can talk about.
I'm going to tell you a little story. A few years back, I ran into an old friend at CVS, and I was shaking, and I had my head down, and I was all depressed, getting my meds. And this kid comes up, and he goes, "Hey, JC, what are you all depressed about?" I said, "Bro, I got Parkinson's." He says, "And you're depressed about that?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "I got 6 weeks to live. I got stage 4 cancer. How do you feel about that? I would switch with you in a second to see my kids for the next 20 years, 30 years. So if that doesn't put you in line real quick, everybody, you think you got it bad, there's somebody else that's got it worse than you."
It gives you perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe it or not, that's our show. Yeah. That's our show in a nutshell right now. What Mike and I went through, we used to be so down on ourselves. How did this happen to me? I must have been born under a bad sign. And we get people in here who give us these stories that they've overcome that make our incidents look like a pimple on a fat person's ass.
But everybody that's fighting a battle, at the time that they're going through it, it seems like a mountain. You know what I'm saying? So you might be fighting a different battle, but you're just as much as a warrior. Might not be Parkinson's, it might be cancer, it might be something else, but everybody that has a battle, I mean, except for the people that lay on the couch with a headache. Like, I get people that call me up, "Oh, JC, how do I get stronger? How do I lose weight?" Stop eating. Go to the gym. I mean, what the fuck? It's easy. You want to lay on the couch all day. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm in the gym every day.
But I'm eating chicken. It's Kentucky Fried, but I'm eating it.
So, and then there was this one person. He calls me up. He's like, "Man, I had a rough day. I got a headache." And then he's come rambling on and on. And he goes, "Oh, wait, you got Parkinson's. What the fuck am I complaining to you for? I got it way better than you." And I said, "Thank you very much." I said, "I probably do." But,
now, you also do this Punk Rock 101?
Yes.
Explain a little bit about that.
How I met JC was Drew John again. So John says, "Hey, I got this guy I met, man, nice guy. He's in the movie. He didn't tell me the name of the movie. I didn't hear, he didn't say Benicio del Toro a bit more. He said he's trying to do his acting thing, and he wants to get started, and he wants to get some headshots, and he wants to do this and that." So I start talking to JC, and he's like, "Yeah, I got this movie coming off," and I was like, "This guy's rolling better than me. Fuck, I gotta hang out with him." You know what I mean? So like, all of a sudden we're doing the show. It's called Punk Rock 101, and we're shooting next week. We're gonna start shooting the pilot. It's about a manager, me, Jay Peach, who manages a rock band, and my sidekick is no less than my man JC Capone.
Take a guess what my name is in the movie.
JC?
Floyd.
No, Floyd. Kind of fucking Italian, Floyd.
Yeah.
Hey, JC, I
But
look like a Floyd.
It fits him, though.
I look like a Floyd. You can say, I don't know.
And like, listen, we wrote him in. He got written in. Straight up.
I've known like 2 Floyds in my life, and they both had mullets, so I'm going to say no on that one.
Floyd.
And this guy's fun. We did some readings. He's the funniest one on the readings. And then he's calling me up afterwards. "I don't think they like me." I said, "You out of your fucking mind? These dudes love you, bro. What do you think you're doing here? You're here. You're reading. He's making everybody laugh and joke." He's like, "Oh, I don't think they like me. They like you. Come on, bro. You're in there."
So who wrote the script for Punk Rock?
The script was from my. I auditioned for this last year. Director Kevin Arose. I got the part. Jay Peach. Kevin Arose. So I became good friends with Kevin. I started writing with Kevin.
Floyd.
Jay Peach and Floyd, baby. Remember those names. Remember those names. We're going to be there. It's going to be us too. So like he wrote the script. He put it together, and we started tailoring it. Me, him, and another Greg, another friend of mine, Greg. Look at Greg's last name, Greg Gonzalez. Greg, I'm sorry, Greg, if you're going to listen to the show. We just started collaborating, and then everything just started coming together little by little. We shot one time, we're shooting another time. Now we have coming this Friday is Eric Roberts. Next Friday he's going to be part of our pilot. Another great Anthony Gallo. He got a few scenes with Robert De Niro and The Irishman. We got JC Capone, big scenes coming out in Reptile. We have a lot of decent, great actors, forget about decent, and we're just going to really concentrate on this pilot, buckle down. As a lot of people know, filmmakers out there, it's a lot of work. So we're going to do promotion. We're going to put a few scenes together, not so much of a sizzle reel, but like 3 good scenes, solid, because we have Eric Roberts. It was tough to get him, so we finally got a schedule so he can come down. Me and Capone are going to be in. I rewrote the scenes for me and Capone again to do with Eric Roberts. We'll have a scene with him. And we're just building, man. That's it.
Can I give you one piece of advice? Now, I know shit about acting.
Go.
Because I saw the one movie where you were the cop. Okay, don't wear a cop's uniform that says De Palma. on it.
Oh my God, that was a short film. That was a short film.
That was a short film because they saw the name De Palma and they're like, we don't fucking want this thing.
It was short-lived because it said De Palma on it.
So you should have, JC, you should have seen this. We're in Hoboken and we're at some family backyard barbecue. And he's just doing this scene, and all of a sudden, De Palma's pulling uniforms out of his trunk to give to Stewie to do this movie.
Oh, man.
That's the wardrobe department right
So
there.
you guys all hang out together, huh?
We've been around each other. I try to stay out of Hoboken because if you go to Hoboken too much, they're going to say, yeah, go down, make a left at Biggie's. Well, I don't know what the fuck Biggie's
Well,
is.
Biggie's used to be there.
They
Remember
came down,
that?
they met cool. Let me just tell you this is how God works. Like, De Palma was my friend. I grew up with Mike. Mike said, I'm doing a podcast with these guys. Come on. I said, what?
Well, I went to the academy with Mike. That's how.
Mike. Yeah,
that's how we originally met him.
You guys knew Mike. I didn't know you guys. Mike was our mutual friend. Put it that way. And it just like all of a sudden, and not to say that I've been getting these guys people, but like I send these guys people to do the show. You obviously, and like a lot of other people, and it's just awesome. Everybody gets to share their experience. You guys have the platform. You gotta give. I tip my hat, man. You guys came a long way, man.
Well, you know what? It was thanks to guys like you that we have come a long way. Because I mean, how many Hoboken people?
Oh,
we
my
could
gosh.
sit here and rattle
Not
off
just Hoboken, a
15
lot.
Hoboken
A lot.
people.
But it's the friendships that are built out of the mutual relationships.
Yeah.
So you're friends with a whole different bunch of people now, and the relationships that, as long as those friendships are in the best, with the best intentions, your friendships that blossom out of those friendships, or of those mutual relationships,
Yeah,
are
real
just huge.
friendships.
Yeah, they're unbelievable. You
Well,
know,
I mean, that's what when we went down to Hoboken, it was for what, a sober barbecue or something like that.
I've never been treated like that as a stranger in my life.
Yeah, we had a
Oh,
big
this guy
barbecue.
rolls out the red carpet for you.
It was
Everybody in Hoboken did.
It was like we were family. Like we grew up in Hoboken, and we didn't. We didn't, but we, Mary Sharon came in from Carlo's Bakery. Wow. So we've met these crazy people, and you're on the way up, man. You got some great things, so you better get this shit under control.
Let me tell you, I'm blessed to have this guy in my life, man. Because like I said, it was always positive. He's a little too much with the telephone during the day. He got to relax with that. But he's
We gotta waste time.
but it's awesome, man. It's a blessing. This guy's a blessing, man. Positive, man. Good people.
I got a funny story. One night I'm sitting outside and it's about 10:30 and I'm bored. So I said, you know what? Let me fuck around with somebody. So I call up Grand Singer and I get a message from the set manager. Absolutely no pets allowed on set. Right? So I'm like, all right. I just watched the Liberty Mutual commercial for the emu. So I said, I'm going to get this guy. So I call him up. I said, yo, Grant, we got a problem. He says, Capone, what's up? I says, your set manager just said I can't bring my pet on the set. He's my service animal. I go everywhere with him. So he goes, what do you got, a pit bull, a Rottweiler, a bulldog, what? I said, I got an ostrich. He says, what? I said, I got an ostrich. He goes, you're fucking kidding me. I said, no, seriously. His name is Oscar. He's 6'2", 250 pounds. He says, does he bite? I said, no, he runs around and spits at you. He goes, So he goes, yo, cuz, I never heard this before. What do you feed the guy? I said, I feed him treats and this and that. He says, where does he sleep? I said, I get a bowl of hay and I throw it on the floor. He doesn't really bother nobody. He might run after you, but that's about it. So gets to the point where I'm like, man, my wife comes out, she says, you're going to blow your fucking chances. You're looking to get fired, aren't you? So,
See how far you can push it.
see how far. So at the end, I said, gotcha. So he goes, that story was so outlandish that only you could pull it off. And I fucking believe it. But so I got a fake a baby ostrich from one of those stuffed animals. I put an ESU tag on it. I brought it on set. Everybody was peeing their pants. I said, this is Oscar, everybody.
Now, do you ever run into people professionally or around your neighborhood that sort of try to treat you with kid gloves, like you're feeble or anything like that?
No.
No, see, I've known people with dementia or Parkinson's, and people are like, oh, are you okay? Are you all right? And
They talk to you like you're a kid.
yeah,
I got a mug that people just don't associate with being a kid. They look at me now. I had one guy call me, and we walk into a restaurant. This guy, Adam, and he says, JC JC, you mind if I tell you something? I said, what? He said, you were a daunting character back in the days, but man, you still scared the shit out of me now. I said, yeah. So, it's easy to just give up. It's easy to say I'm sick. And I got every right to lay down and just lay there because this is not easy moving. It's not easy getting around. And so I'll be the first one to say, you want to give up, go ahead. But what are you gaining from it? What are you going to gain from laying on the fucking couch and crying? Crying isn't going to solve this. Whining about it isn't going to solve it. Get up off your ass and get out there and start moving and do something with your life. Make something positive.
That's one thing I could see in you is you're not a quitter.
No.
That I could see.
But don't get me wrong. I get knocked down.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I tell everybody. It's okay to get knocked down. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have fear. But turn that fear into fuel that lights a fire in you and get you out there to move. Because if this disease doesn't scare you, then I don't know what does. If this disease doesn't force you to get out there and fight back, then you know what? If you don't have the fight in you, give up. I mean, you got two choices. You give up and die, or you get out there and fight. I'm choosing to fight.
It's not how many times you get knocked down. It's how many times you get back up.
Yes, sir.
So where can our audience find JC Capone?
Sitting in my house, drinking an espresso with a cannoli.
Shaken, not stirred, right?
Shaking, not stirred.
Shaken, not stirred.
If you have a barbecue, I'll be the mixer. Don't worry about it.
Where can we find your social media?
I have faced Facebook and TikTok, but it's too much for me to do all this stuff. I do everything on my own, so I usually just stick to Instagram. It's
And JC Capone's his handle, right? Yeah.
76.
JC Capone.
We're going to put links to all this stuff in the show notes so people can find you, reach out to you, because you're not done yet. You got a lot more left to
No,
do.
we're gonna kick some ass and take some names. We're gonna start shaking this.
Talking about the
industry
movie.
up.
The movie coming out Friday. Tell him. Was it?
The movie's going to come out on the 29th. By the time this airs, that
Netflix.
movie will already be out on Netflix, and the movie's called
Reptile.
Reptile with Benicio del Toro, Justin Timberlake,
Check it out on Netflix.
Alicia Silverstone. Stewie, where can our audience find you?
Come. I got two episodes. If anybody wants to go to Amazon, please promote. And my friend Willie DeMeo. Willie directed it. Willie acted in it. Willie he wrote it. Willie's really worked hard on the series. You got a ton of. If you like mob stuff, I mean, this is the show. I mean,
That's got about every mob actor in
Dice
it.
Clay's in there. You have what's
You have Armand Asante.
William Forsythe, Bronx Tale, Chaz Parmenteri's in it. I mean, everybody's in it. It's an awesome show. I'm in episode 7 and 8. I have a recurring role on it. Thank you, Willie DeMeo, for that. And basically, Punk Rock 101 will be coming soon. As soon as we get done filming, we have a lot of interest in it, and we keep plugging, we keep working.
Well, how about your social media? Where can we find you?
My social media's Stuart CHIRICHELLA on my handle is on on Instagram. Just Stu CHIRICHELLA. Just Google me in there. Type the last name as best you can. And my Facebook. You know, and every week we're dropping. I had a short film in the film festival called Decision. Every week we're dropping another little snippet of the film. So
The last one was really good.
we're plugging, and that was only the first one. So
Yeah.
we just keep grinding.
Stewie, Sammy the Bull, Chiricella.
Absolutely. and I just had a nice organized crime on Law and Order. So I did one of those episodes too. So I'm trying to on organized crime.
What was it?
and
Which
Order.
Law and Order?
It was a May 4th episode.
No, Law and Order. They got Law and Order like
organized crime.
Law and
Organized
Order.
crime.
Can I get
What is
an
it? Last
autograph
Crime?
before-
Organized crime.
Organized crime, 'cause they got, like,
it's
Law
a
and
new
Order,
one. It's
anal
on
rape
hold
and-
now, so
Can I get an autograph?
I'm trying to catch up to this guy. I'm trying to catch up to my
fuck
man
outta
right here.
Organized crime. I think he's typecast now. You know.
Yeah.
No, I played a cop. I played a CO in the fucking. Come on, I played a CO in Jetta. I was setting up hits.
It's got to be dirty or
The
something.
COs, yeah, I was setting up hits. I was setting up
There you
murders.
go. There you go. So,
Again, I said typecast.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't
JC,
know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I never met this guy before in my life.
Capone.
JC, we're coming to the end of this thing here. And
Already?
Yeah, man. The hour goes fast.
Damn.
Yeah, so I ask
Told you
everybody.
there's a clock right over there. You can watch.
Yeah.
I can't see it. Oh,
Down
there
at
it
the
is.
bottom.
Okay.
We end every show the same way.
Right.
You've gone through this incredible journey from the depths to normal depths of hell and then back up again.
And we're still fighting.
And if
Not
you
over yet.
haven't learned anything from this journey, then it's really a wasted opportunity. So what do you think your suffering of your Parkinson's has taught you?
This is more for my kids. That if this disease is genetic, and God forbid one of them gets it, they're going to know that their father fought the fight. And if I go down, it's because I can't get up. But if they go down, no matter what life throws at them, look at their old man. If I could keep pushing forward, they could keep pushing forward. And don't let anybody stop you from completing your dreams and your mission in life.
Amen.
I think that's
that is unbelievable.
I think that's a wonderful place to leave it. I can't thank you, gentlemen, both enough. Stuart CHIRICHELLA, JC Capone.
Sorry for getting so heavy.
No, this
Remember those names, baby. We're coming.
You ain't on the happy
give you
podcast. You're on the suffering podcast.
Yo, I'm gonna give you a Dion line. We're not coming no more. We're here. We're here, baby.
Thank you both, gentlemen. I wish you the best. I can't wait to see Reptile coming out on the 29th of September.
Me too.
And that's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast, The Suffering of Parkinson's Disease with JC Capone and Stuart CHIRICHELLA. Let's think about all the stuff that we learned. Trouble seems to find you. Life can give you a gut check. They're not making any more time. Rock bottom allows for the construction of a strong foundation. Circumstances give us perspective, but the most important, turn the fear into fuel.
There you go, guys.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Suffering Podcast. Don't forget, go to popple.com, get your digital business card, put in the code TSP20 for a 20% discount, and now you can go to BetterHelp, go to betterhelp.com/suffering, 10% off your first month. Look for us on all social media. That's TikTok, Clapper, Instagram, Facebook. What am I? I'm missing one of them, but
Instagram.
all of them. We're missing all. We're on all of them. Follow Mike at Mike_Failace. Follow me at Real Kevin Donaldson, and of course, follow the Suffering Podcast. And we will see you on the next episode.